I got to get it right sometime. Good morning. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday morning live cast. Hey, Betsy Co. We're so glad. We're so glad your class was canceled. We are, really. We've got lots of regulars in here this morning. Hillary is watching a talk about National Burial Ground Survey for England. So she may or may not be here. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. We've got John Tyner is here. Tommy Buck, good morning from the Bayou State. Currently 48 degrees and sunny. It's currently 35 degrees and rainy here in Ottawa. Just to make you feel comfortable and at home, I should get a fire going. Let's see. Janine's here. 37 degrees Fahrenheit where she is. Let's see. Tommy Buck, 37, a bit burr. Yes, it is. And Janine turned the heat on this morning. We've had our heat on for a couple of weeks, I think. Jory Jordan, hello from South Africa. Betsy Co. We're so excited you're here. We are. If you're wondering where Sarah is still pulling the the holiday work shift at her real job. We all have real jobs or real life that takes us away from WikiTree. But so she's going to be doing that until after Christmas. And so Julie may show up in just a bit, so I won't be completely alone, but I'm never alone. You're all here. Hey, Chris Ferriello. Let's see, 46 in New Hampshire. Celeste, good morning. Hey, Leah, here comes Julie. Whoops. Hey, Julie, we're just still saying good morning, and everybody's telling us what the weather is like where they are. How's the weather in Chicagoland?
Well, not great. It's cold. It snowed yesterday. There was a little dusting on the grass, and it's still cold, and it was kind of sleeting or something this morning. So
I love it.
Do you?
I love it.
The leaves are pretty.
Yeah. Do you okay, so there's a lot of discussion here about whether you rake your leaves up or do you mulch them?
We typically mulch them. We don't have we have a we don't have a ton of trees on our lot, so we probably don't get as many leaves as some people do. When we used to live down in Kentucky, and we had tons of hardwood trees on our lot, and then we would rake them up and put them in our compost bin or compost pile.
We mulch them, right? We have mulching blades on our mower, so it goes right back into the grass.
Yep, same
here.
My
next door neighbor keeps her yard natural, which is really interesting because there's all these really nicely kept yards, and then poof, but she does it in a way that it's not garish or horrible. She plants this huge bed of flowers. So there's lots of flowers. It's pretty and everything. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And she probably gives some haven to critters that wouldn't otherwise.
Oh, she does. She does. Yeah.
So that might be good or bad.
Yeah.
Depending on the critter.
I saw a critter. A friend came over for a lunch, and we saw a critter run by that shocked me. On its way through my yard to her yard underneath my fence. And I'm like,
what critter was that?
I'm not even going to say because I don't want it to come back. It was a rat.
No.
Yeah, but there's also sewer work being done on our street, but like across the intersection. So I have a feeling that it might have been because of that. I'm hoping. I have never, ever, ever, ever seen a rat here. Not in my yard, no.
Anyway. Maybe it supported the circle of life somehow, and
she did have a video up of really cute baby skunks that were living in her yard. So yeah, lots of wildlife. Woo!
Wow.
How are you today, Julie?
I'm good. I'm here. It's supposed to be dog walking time, but it's been raining, so we're gonna do that later.
We're very glad it's not dog walking time because you're here now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy to help.
Yeah. So I thought I would go ahead and jump right into the question of the week, which is
okay.
Fun.
I will,
gonna-
if you want to do that, I'll watch for comments.
Wait a
Good morning,
second. So,
everybody. I haven't.
Aowen's auto message is hopping up where she's sending out an auto message. So I'm going to leave it up so you guys can see it. Here we go. There we go. All right. Say hi, Julie.
Well, we can't see it yet.
Oh, really?
You didn't add it.
Did I not add it? There we
You
go.
didn't add it.
There
we go.
All right. So, question of the week. See, there's Julie. There's Aowen's auto notification. Come watch us. Veterans. Do you have any veterans? Who are the veterans in your tree? That's the question of the week. I am staying away from the GDG post. I'll show it to you. There are 98 answers. There's tons and tons and tons of great answers. 5 full pages.
Wow.
But I'm going to focus mainly this week on the Facebook pages because the Facebook pages have pictures. And I think visually for a show, it's nicer to see those pictures.
Oh, I agree.
So I'm going to start out with the WikiTree's top fan here. Do you see?
Are you a top fan?
I'm a top fan. So I have a few as well. My dad, my uncle, both my grandfathers, and so many others. And interestingly, during the Civil War, I had 3 of my 4th great grandfathers all serve at Battery Wagner. If you don't know what Battery Wagner was, watch the movie Glory and you'll see the fall of Battery Wagner.
No, I've never heard of that before.
And I also have this beautiful picture. I actually know where my grandfather was on November the 11th, 1918.
In France.
He was in Dampierre, France, and this is him right here.
Wow.
Isn't that a cool picture?
That's an awesome picture.
It's amazing what you find when you're doing research.
Joey likes it.
Joey and Casey say they really like to come and jump up on my
I'm going to have to let him outside. Hang on.
Yeah. So this is a great picture of my pop in Dampierre, France. And I actually went to Google Earth yesterday and put the street view up. And I found where I think he was. There wasn't a spire on the church then. And there weren't windows. There weren't 2 windows in the church, but that was cool. So more pictures. June Stern's book. You've got a great assortment up here. My dad, my husband, my son, my uncle, my great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, father-in-law, brother-in-law, cousins, and many more. So she's got a scrapbook page up showing her dad, maybe?
I don't know.
I'm thinking her dad.
I guess she didn't label them for us, did she?
No. And Sam Desjardins has his dad up, Romeo J. Desjardins, and his brothers. So that's pretty cool.
That's a neat picture.
Yeah. And then the other Facebook group, the WikiTree members group, there are some good ones. And also, it's also fun to watch Aowen answer people. So Sherry is a veteran. She's a Vietnam era veteran. And Aowen says, thank you for sharing. That's so sweet. Let's see. And and Mark McIntyre is talking about quite a few, actually. My father, grandfather, great-grandfather, distant cousins, one of whom is buried in Thailand, forced to work as a POW on the Burma Railway. And Aowen answers, oh, wow, some intense stories, I'm sure, and other stuff. So, and where are the pictures? Oh, yeah. Here's Diane Eccles. While both my and my husband's family have people in the military, his Aunt Hilda is one that I admired the most. She started out in World War II as a nurse, and somewhere in Italy, an oxygen canister exploded while she was helping in surgery and burned her. Let's see what else it says about her.
Oh, my gosh.
Hilda went back to the States to recuperate. She recovered and then continued her military career until she had to retire in the 1970s. That's quite a story and an admirable woman, as Aowen says. Great pictures here from Pat Rye. My closest veterans shown here are my grandfather, U.S. Army 11th Cav, my father, U.S. Army Air Force, and my 2 older brothers.
Wow.
They could be twins.
They do look like twins from this angle anyway, because I can't.
Yeah, that's so cool. Let's see. Lloyd DeVere Hunt. I can never pronounce. I can't pronounce. So Tommy, you should tell me how to pronounce Lloyd's second name there. So in the broader sense of a descendant of DARS, Daughters of the American Revolution, and UEL, which is United Empire Loyalists, eligible in terms of officers, Lithuanian, Poles, Prussian, and Russian Balts, Estonian, Swedes. And a most unusual story on finding my second cousin's family overcoming several record errors in South African casualty via an Australian casualties era couple November 11th ago. That's talking, I think he's talking about his research. That's fascinating that he was able to track down that kind of information in those countries. So cool.
We have John Tyner said that his second great-grandfather's brother was in the Zulu Wars, and his paternal great-uncle died in the Somme in September of 1916.
The Battle of the Somme is huge. Yeah, that's great. Well, it's not great. That's very honorable. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. Tracy Smith has a great picture of both of her grandfathers, and they're fun pictures. I mean, this one looks like a movie.
Can you click on it? Make it a little bigger for us.
Can I make it bigger? Let's see.
Just click on it. Yeah.
No, I got it. Whoa. Is that how big? Oh no.
No, go back. Just click on it. It'll bring it up. Or do you not want to?
I've lost it. I've completely look. It went up to 500. I can't do the little roll wheel.
No.
Here we go.
Now you've lost it.
No,
just do Control 0.
Here we go. There's the nurse. There's those guys.
See, I completely messed up your flow, didn't I?
Woo!
There he is.
He looks like a movie star.
That's great.
And his parachute.
Yeah, he looks really cool. Yeah.
And this is, are they helping somebody escape?
I don't know. It almost looks like a hospital with, some of them sitting in somebody.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
That's fun. Tracy. Oh, let's see. Robin Cabrich is a veteran, and she's a longtime WikiTreeer. So Robin, her brother, her father, her uncle, several cousins, grandfathers, and back a long way, every generation on both sides. Yeah. And somebody asked, do they have to be American to be in this list?
Of course not.
The U.S. and Canada and Britain, a lot of people celebrate November 11th as Remembrance Day, where we remember the soldiers that we lost in war. And for the U.S., it's Veterans Day. So they celebrate all those who serve. So yes, please do include anyone you have. And
I think the question was, do you have any veterans in your family?
Yeah.
So it's not specifically because we're having Veterans Day, but that just seemed like a good opportunity to ask the question.
It does. And another movie star looking one here, Russ Gunter. Let's look at this real quick. Let's check out this profile.
Walter
Thomas Gunter Jr.
Oh, wait.
He has German roots. He was served in the military in the United States Navy during World War II. An aviation machinist mate. And again, movie star, good looks, and the movie star like picture. So.
And he lived not far from where I live right now.
Oh, cool. Nice. See, it messed it up on my other one, but we can watch you again.
Let's not do that.
What was this from? This is from
Friday date night.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you find anybody in your date night?
Oh, we had a very busy Friday date night. There was a lot happening on Discord yesterday. So,
nice.
And I think they're still going on out there. So if anybody's interested in helping out with those, it goes on as whenever you want it to. The channel is always open. Oh, look at that one. That's cool.
Yeah, the Swarthet. And we can follow that one out. Let's see. This is off WikiTree. So this is somebody who has a good profile on WikiTree who's also linked off to another site, which is a good thing to do on WikiTree. The Landmarks of Tompkins County, New York by John H. Selkrig. It's a book. So that's pretty cool. But this is a write-up about Henry W. Stevens. And the photographer was related. It's interesting. So, moving on.
I'm still here. I'm just letting
I can
dogs
tell.
in. I'm sorry. I am home by myself. There's nobody to help, so.
That's okay.
And now they want to play, of course. I'm sorry.
This one, let them play. This is a cool one. I don't have a picture, but here's the certificate appointing my third time's great-grandfather, Salo Reed, as a sergeant in the 18th Regiment Infantry for the state of Connecticut, and signed and dated September the 15th, 1821.
Wow.
That's when James Madison was president.
That's crazy. I don't know how people, I don't have any documents that old.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope you're preserving. Obviously, it's being preserved.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of moving one of my photographs out of the container it was in and into a new container. And the photograph I've had, it's been around for 140 years, and it's ruined.
Oh, no.
But thankfully, I digitized it, and it's available on WikiTree.
Oh, that's good. Well, Janine said she did not answer the question, but meant to. Her dad's brothers were in World War II, and her dad in 1946 for the reconstruction of Japan. Her mom's brothers were in Vietnam, and my brother in Alaska.
Nice. That's really nice.
Yeah, that's a family commitment there.
This is something. I mean, how many veterans do you know who don't talk about what happened?
Well, both my dad and my uncle were veterans. Actually, I have other uncles that were also veterans and some cousins that were in Vietnam. And the Vietnam veterans do not like to talk about it. My one uncle, who has since passed away, he was a medic in the Korean War or World War II. I can't remember. Maybe both.
Yeah.
He never wanted to talk about it. He was a medic, so you can imagine he endured some probably horrific stuff.
My dad doesn't talk about it, but because of some childhood stuff that I remember, I asked my dad's permission if I could research it. So I know all about my dad's service in Korea, but we don't talk about it. But but he knows that I know.
Right.
It's kind of fun, yeah.
Yeah.
My uncle Roy Smith, this is from Diane Hushel. My uncle Roy Smith was an Army Ranger in Korean War. He parachuted behind enemy lines into North Korea, and below, in his words, is one of his missions. He never told us about his war days, but I found this by searching the internet. An amazing hero. How cool is that?
That is cool.
In his own
I want to
words.
read it. I'll have to go out there to the page and read it.
Yeah,
afterwards.
You can't. It's not clear enough to read right now, but I'm assuming that she's got his profile up, and this is linked or something on his profile. So that's the question of the week. I do recommend people go and read all about these wonderful people like William James Page, Llewellyn Wynne Griffith, on the G2G page. More incredible pictures, great profiles. What's John Tyner got to say?
He said that his brother was in the Army during World War II and his assassination was stopped. Or his grandfather's brother, sorry. John's not that old.
I'm like, boy, John's really up there in years.
His grandfather's brother was in the Army during World War II and his assassination was stopped.
Now I want to know who his grandfather's brother was that he was being targeted for an assassination.
Right. Yeah. And then Christine Miller said that her grandfather never talked about World War II. It took her grandmother and sister sitting him down and begging him to talk about it for her sister's school project.
Interesting. Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a little pushing. I'm sure that was hard for him.
Well, yeah. And also I think that there's that whole thing of the Army says you shouldn't discuss anything outside of the Army. So there's that as well. And the trauma of it. Yeah. Cool.
And Janine also said one of my mother's brothers was in Vietnam and he had probably PTSD, what we call PTSD now. I'm guessing. It sounds like it, but yeah, I know a lot of the guys that were in Vietnam suffered a lot of
PTSD,
yeah.
and suffered a lot from the chemicals and things that were used as well. So that's the question of the week. Grandpa from Chris. Oh,
Chris F's grandpa Marco was a paratrooper, and I remember seeing pictures of his grandparents. I think
with
his grandfathers.
type.
Yeah, I think he posted those on Discord, and Chris, you look like a lot like one of your grandpas.
There is a beautiful picture here from William Angus Kerneline. Hello. We've got a beautiful picture of a
that's fantastic
naval officer. I can scroll down, and then his
here's
father, J.J. Kerneline, 324th Field Artillery in the U.S. Army during World War I.
Wow, that's cool.
Lucky enough to have a large collection of letters home.
Wow. Oh, that's fantastic. Those are always just.
And he signed the picture.
Yeah.
That's great.
John Tyner gave you the name and birth date of the assassination target.
I have to remember that one. Yeah. I was looking to see. I want to point out Pip. Pip, I love Pip. Very concise answer. It's not, well, it's concise answer, but it's a lot. So,
but it's well organized.
It's well organized. Look at all of the people who participated in the Revolutionary War. Jacob Deck, Metcalf, Moore, Reed, Kathy, Reese, Bradley, Patterson, Moore, Bryant, James Dillard. He's from Lawrence, South Carolina. I know who that is. William Reed, actually, but he's not my direct line of Dillard's. John Runyon, nice, and Gasper Club, nice. So
I actually went to high school with a guy named John Runyon.
I did too.
No.
And his brother Tom.
I don't remember if John had any siblings.
Well, this was in South Carolina, not where you're from.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was such a common name.
Yeah, Runyon. It's such a fun name to say. Runyon.
Okay, Megs.
So go check out the G2G feed and check out some of that stuff. I believe there is a picture, and I was kind of scrolling to see. There is a picture, I believe, of Chris Ferriello's family somewhere in here.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I thought I saw it on Discord.
Because his dad with the pipe.
It was his two grandfathers.
Yes.
That I saw. Yeah.
So let's see. Does anybody, do you want to go over the profiles of the week, or I can? And
I would like you to, since I'm unprepared. I wasn't planning on being here.
All right. So
but I'll be happy to talk about them with you.
Please do. So the very first one we have is Dory Miller. Let's see who Dory Miller was. Ooh, Doris Miller. Dory Miller. Waco, McLennan County, Texas. I'm familiar with him. October 12th, 1919 in Waco, Texas. He was in the United States Navy in World War II, and he received the Navy Cross. If I remember correctly, if I can remember it correctly, he was at Pearl Harbor and saved a bunch of people.
Wow. I would first like to comment that I did not know that Doris could be a man's name.
Yeah, no, me either. But I am familiar with this guy and his name. Mm-hmm. He was a mess attendant. Yeah, he was a mess attendant, and he was safely below decks. But he didn't hesitate to grab a machine gun to go and defend the ship when station was called for.
Wow.
For his actions, he was awarded the Navy Cross and presented to him by Admiral Nimitz in the Pacific Fleet. So yeah, that's the story. He was a mess attendant who picked up his arms and protected his ship. I almost said sheep. He became renowned and was brought home in 1942 to promote war bonds. That's pretty cool.
But his data up at the top said that he died in 43 at sea. Do we know why? I mean, obviously during the war.
His ship sank, so he unfortunately he did not live past the war.
Oh, that's
really
so sad.
That's very sad. Let's see who the next fella is. Charlie Green. And I got hung up on the Charlie Brown name down at the bottom when I was
I know.
looking at this list this week. I was like, Charlie Brown. Charles Hercules Green, DSO. What does Lieutenant Colonel? He's Australian. Let's see. He youngest Australian Army Infantry Battalion commander during Second World War. He commanded the 3rd Battalion of the Royal Australian Regiment during the Korean War. Oh no, where he died as a result of wounds in battle. He remains the only commanding officer of a RAR battalion to die on active service. Nice. He was an Anzac. Neat. Let's see who's next. Tom Derrick.
I love that people have pictures of all. I know he's notable, so he probably had pictures easily found, but they make the profiles so much more relatable.
They do. And there's been some discussion this week, I know in the leaders group, about how people make their profiles look a little bit not quite so cut and paste. And here is obviously one where somebody's taken a little bit of artistic or creative license with the formatting here. It looks really good to me. Who was the best soldier of all time? After a short pause, he replied, Diver Derrick. And this is from General Sir Peter Cosgrove, then Chief of the Australian Defence Force. So Lieutenant Thomas Tom Curry Derrick was born the 20th of March, 1914, in the Salvation Army Hospital in Medindie, an inner suburb of Adelaide, South Australia. He was an older son of David, a labourer from Ireland, and an Australian wife. He was educated there. And let's see, he supplemented his bakery income with odd jobs, repairing bicycles, selling newspapers. And let's see, he rode his bicycle to Barrie, in search of work. Wow, 225 kilometers. So that's about 150 miles.
Wow.
Or 140 miles. See, my brain was trying to calculate it, and somebody already did it and corrected me. I knew that was funny, Joey. Eventually,
he can't even hear you, and he knew it was funny.
31. You gonna come up and say hi, Joey? Hi, Joey.
Just keep going. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to keep you
Tom
quiet.
found work picking fruit in vineyards, and then on June 24th, he married Beryl Leslie. So he served in North Africa and Syria. Let's see, in Libya, the Rats of Tobruk. Recommended for the military medal. What a great profile.
I know, it's fantastic.
Look at all the medals. Is he wearing them in that picture?
No, doesn't look like it.
He lost weight while he was serving.
Oh, sure looks like it, doesn't it?
No, look, he's...
Or else he gained some back after he came home.
Yeah. So he was wounded in Alamein. Wow, what a big... Oh, and ordered personally to hoist the Australian flag. So the final battle was Borneo, and that's where he passed away.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, and some more interesting... Wow.
That's a really well done profile.
That is a very well done profile.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Who was the profile manager? Let's go look at that again.
I don't know.
I'm going all the way up the top. Nobody gets sick. Kenneth Evans and Ian Phillip. Very good profile. All right. So John Laverack, who Lieutenant General Sir John Dudley Laverack.
Another Aussie.
Another Aussie.
Hi, Elesh. He says he's late again. So was I, Elesh.
So, oh, wow. This one's split up into formative years, the Great War, Between Wars. Here is this. This is Kenneth Evans and the Notables Project.
Yeah.
So, because he was the governor of Queensland. Was a senior Australian soldier in both the Great War and the Second World War. Was governor of Queensland from October 1st, 1946 to 1957. the first Australian-born governor of that state, chief of the general staff from 1935 to 1939, and responsible for building up Australia's defense in the light of Japanese aggression in the Pacific region. So another really well done, and not using a lot of colorful formatting, but just keeping it basic WikiTree with our basic WikiTree formatting and information.
Yes, there has to be a balance between a profile being complicated and a profile being...
Yeah, and if you have a lot of complicated formatting in the HTML markup or the wiki markup, sometimes newer people don't know how to go in and do stuff, because seeing all that stuff in the HTML, it's kind of, or the wiki markup is kind of crazy.
Well, we have recommended and not recommended tags that we should be using, because we have such different levels of computer literacy, I'll say, and so we don't want to make it hard for somebody to come in and edit a profile.
And here is a little bit of that markup here. Let's see, I can't get to it quickly. Let's look at that markup, because it's not that long. So you can see that it's a pretty basic with all the categories. Great work on that. The succession box, which is an approved box. And then let's go down here and we'll see what the markup looks like for that bit of, where is it? Oh, here it is. So when a new person comes in and they start saying div style tags and all this stuff, sometimes that scares them. It would have scared me when I first started.
Well,
it still scares me.
Yeah, the problem is that it's not standard, so it might be removed at some point if somebody else comes in to manage or edit the profile, because it's not an approved.
And we have styles and guidelines that you can check out. Let's see, help. There we go, the style guide. And the style guide will give you lots of great information on how to work on stuff. So you can add acknowledgement sections so that people that have worked on the profile before are left on there. My favorite is the research notes section. That's my favorite, because I think adding research notes to profiles to let people know where you've researched for something really helps a lot. So what we're doing.
I'm
yes,
very
Joey,
sorry.
I'm going back.
This is just not a good time for my dogs.
Well, they think they're going to be out walking right now.
They think that, yes.
So the next one is Ernest Edward Dunlop, ACCMG OBE. So many, and he's a colonel, doctor, and a sir. Julie, just go get him treats, Julie. So painting of this fella, he's a notable. He was an Australian surgeon who was renowned for his leadership while being a prisoner by the Japanese during the Second World War for his interest in health and welfare of former prisoners of war and their families. Beautiful portrait of him, making me think of the Bridge over the River Kwai, that movie, which was really fun. So he's from Wangaratta, Victoria, Australia, younger son of James Dunlop and Alice Payne. He was in the Second World War, and after the war, he he got married.
Oh, nice.
So
that's a good post-war thing to do.
Nice, regular looking profile with not a lot of flurry. Nice DNA connections there as well. Let's check on to the next one. Philip Leclerc. Philip Francois Marie Hautecloque Leclerc. Let's see, 1902, Beloy Saint-Léonard, Somme, France.
Maybe we need to get Leah to come in here.
Yeah, he was born at the Somme. That's interesting. And then he died in Algeria. There's a picture of the fella. Let's see. He is the Count of Hautecloque. And let's see. Second lieutenant in the Somar Cavalry School. He got married. He was a fighter. And this is a great great way of showing that the biography can be in French and in English. Thank you very much, Leah. In French and in English. So that's really cool. That's another cool thing that WikiTree does, is you can have the native language of the person, even though we try and keep everything in English as well. That's really cool. Love that.
You can definitely do a dual language biography. There's no problem with that.
And I don't know how many languages we have now, but you can actually write your profile information in the original language, even if it's different characters, Arabic or whatever. So we told Pilecki, he's from Russia, or worse, and then died in Poland. He is a notable, he has a great picture there. Wonderful picture. He was a Polish cavalry officer during World War II. He helped found the secret Polish army resistance movement, volunteered to be caught and sent to Auschwitz. What?
Wow.
What? He became prisoner 4859, and once inside the camp, he built a radio in order to transmit information back outside. And after 2 years an inmate there, he escaped. His detailed report exposed the horrors of the camp, enlightening the Allied forces, and he was interned in a German POW camp and was later returned to Poland following the war.
Wow.
He was at odds with the new communist Polish government and was eventually arrested by the secret police and executed.
Oh my gosh.
That kind of makes sense considering his work. Wow,
Right.
That sounds like a movie.
That's incredible.
I wonder if there are any books written. 10 Unknown Heroes Who Saved the World. That's on YouTube if you want to check that out. What a cool guy. Let's see. We love those. Vivian Statham is a lieutenant colonel, an AOMBE PRC, and she was a Bullwinkle when she was
RRC.
RRC, thank you.
I don't know what it means. Do we have Australian viewers who can clue us in on the designations there?
Look, Magnus is here from Sweden.
I see Magnus. And I'm not going to try to speak in Swedish, but he said nicely worked or nicely done.
Thank you very much. Look at that crazy portrait of her. She is also a notable. Let's see. She was an Australian Army nurse. On February 16, 1942, the Japanese soldiers killed 21 nurses on Raji Beach, Bangka Island, Indonesia. This was later known as the Bangka Island Massacre.
Oh, goodness.
Vivian Bullwinkle was the only survivor. Wow.
She was lovely.
I want to know how she survived.
Yeah.
12 Australian nurses were either killed in the attack or on the ship or drowned in sea, but 22 nurses and a number of passengers, including women and children, made it ashore to Raji Beach. They decided to surrender to the Japanese. Some civilian women and children had already left to find local authorities to whom they might surrender. The nurses were protected under the Geneva Conventions. Let's see, some even still had their armbands on, but this made no difference. 100 prisoners, soldiers. Let's see. Wow. She was hit by a bullet and badly wounded. She was still alive and pretended to be dead until the Japanese left. Things that happened during war, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see. Daniel Cordier was a French. He was a notable. Is a French resistance fighter. After acting as Jean Moulin's secretary during the year preceding his arrest, he was made a companion of liberation. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Resistance fighters. Oh, and he lived for quite a while. He died just last year. So that's wow.
My gosh.
Really.
Just about a year ago.
Yeah. Charlie Brown. He doesn't look like the Charlie Brown I'm accustomed to. He doesn't have the sweater with the zigzag stripe on it. He's the youngest of 6 children. In September 1943, at an Army air base called Piot Field in Texas, Charlie met up with his new crew. They're getting to know one another and dropping particle bombs on white X's. See, he was there. His crew got into a bar fight. Beer spilled on him, and he approached Charlie to say that the MPs were questioning Sergeant Sam. Let's see. They were going to lock him up. Charlie went on a rescue mission and got them out of trouble. How about that? Not only was he a wonderful crewman, he also got his buddies out of jail. Here we go. So those are the World War heroes of the week. Were any of our people connected to any of those?
We did have some people connected, but that was back a ways. So
no worries.
Let's see.
No worries. And then let's see.
We had, let's see, John Tyner's closest to Charlie Brown, Edward Dunlop, and Charlie Green, and Bernard Montgomery. They're all 23 degrees from him.
Nice.
Janine said her closest was Charlie Brown. I think that's all I saw so far.
I think Charlie Brown was my closest too, which is why I was like doing the double take.
Yeah, and me too. I'm 16 from him, so.
Our photo of the week sharing theme was in home. And isn't this adorable? Pat Miller and her siblings waiting to go see the movie Pinocchio.
That's so cute.
Isn't that cute? She even knows what everybody was reading and everything.
That's like a stereotypical 1950s living room right there.
Yes. And look at how dressed up you got to go to the movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we go in our sweats.
You got your patent leather shoes on.
Yeah.
This is adorable.
Oh.
From Marion Ross, the twins wanting to be outside, but it was raining. That's
in the home, and we would prefer to be out of the home.
Yes. Yes. And don't forget to vote these up as you go through. This photo taken in the home of my husband's great aunt, Mildred, and great uncle Glenn Biterwell, second from left. So right here. And my daughter is the first grandchild in the center of attention. I bet. Look at that.
And that looks like, doesn't that look like 1970s to you?
It does. It does. That gold carpet.
Mm-hmm.
My house was built in 1973. And when we bought it, that gold carpet was still in our house.
I think that's the same gold carpet we had.
Yeah. Everybody had that. Let's see. Let's vote this one up. That looks like a very well posed picture. Notice the war hero in the background here. I'm always looking at the stuff in the background. And the fire looks real. And let's see.
It does look real.
How does this kid, he's not on somebody's lap. He must be sitting on his knees for him to be up on the same level as the adults. So this was staged. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Author and Edna Dodge, probably taken about 1934.
That's cool. I love that.
And that's from Robin Shawls. Let's see. Oh, cool. I'm going to vote this one up here. Picture taken in the early 1960s at our home in Lietzen, Segeberg County, Schleswig-Holstein, in the living room. I know who this is from. Dieter. Dieter Lawrence. And there's tulips back there. Isn't that pretty? Everybody's sitting back and holding their stomachs.
They look like they
ate a big meal.
I would say they look like they just had a big meal.
In the 1960s. Oh my gosh.
Oh, so cute.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Look at the wallpaper. Oh my word.
It's very retro.
Lauren Thompson, she says, I love the wallpaper. You can have that wallpaper. I hope your whole house is done in that.
I can see somebody using that to do like a mural of some sort in a retro kitchen.
That is so crazy. Look at that little baby in that tub.
That's adorable.
Bath.
That's so cute. Who posted that?
Lauren Thompson.
Oh, cool.
Let's see. Let's vote this one up. And oh my gosh, look at the sunburns.
Oh, wow.
This photo is my late husband, Timothy Goodson, my two daughters from a previous marriage, and our son, taken in the summer of 1989. I would say Timothy has been out in the sun. The baby looks a little sunburned too.
little toasty brown, everybody is.
Yeah, that's a great one. Janine. What's Janine saying about it? She's saying anything? Let's see.
No, not yet.
Here is one in the home. Not sure whether this is the home of Captain Page in Chicago near you, or the home of his daughter Nellie Page Treat. Either way, this is obviously the home of a family of means. It would have been taken in the winter since Captain Page was on the Great Lakes in the spring, summer, and fall. My grandmother is the little one on the left.
Aw.
This is from S. Davenport. That's a cute picture.
So Lauren Thompson is here watching. She was happy to see her photo. And then Alexis Lovelace Nelson came in and said that that picture we thought was for the 70s was for the 70s. It was for 1970.
That's
exactly.
Good. We lived through that too. We remember those garish colors.
Megs and I are about the same age, so.
Aren't you older than me?
I don't remember.
I think you are.
I think I am.
No, you don't.
I'm just
like
a little.
Me.
Yeah.
This is a cute picture of Alice and Vic Hills in Norwich, taken 57 years after 57 years. Aww, 2003.
That's cute.
They still look like they like each other. That's
they
from
do.
Kristen
They're adorable.
Frost. Let's vote this up. This is a crazy picture from Joyce Vander Bogart. My grandmother, Plena Lane, at the house built by her grandfather, Jimmy Lane, Steventon, New York, about 1894. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
As you can tell, this family was very poor. This picture was taken. Plena's mother died, and they went to live in an orphanage.
Oh.
Wow. The places people lived in. Crazy. We're so glad that your family survived, Joyce. That's crazy. Let's see. I had trouble locating a photo and I wanted to use in home, but I did recall a photo about home that I thought would work. And this is Albuquerque, New Mexico, and July of 1958. This is Bill Sims working on the stucco. It looks like
bungalow.
Yeah. Whitewash. Oh, let's see. This looks pretty. Uh-oh, somebody moved.
Is he blurry? I can't really see it that well.
Yeah, it's like he's shaking his head no. My father, Lloyd Wright, and his 4 oldest siblings in the front room of the house they shared in Richmond, California, 1929-1930. That's a great photo. Let's see. Then Gary Nevis. Oh my goodness, look at these little cherub kids.
And you can tell they're all related, can't you?
You can. Oh my goodness, where is he? He's the second from the left. You're the cutest, Gary.
Oh, adorable.
Let's vote this one up. This looks like my childhood.
Yep,
this
same
like
here.
The 70s. Photo picked me. 1983.
What?
That was the year I graduated college. Wow.
Yeah, I was
John Thompson.
Officially an adult that year. Or maybe a little before, but
yeah. I don't think I've ever become an adult.
No, I'm resisting.
That's a nice picture.
Oh, that's cool.
From Jillian Luck, spotted the Epern. What is that? At my grandfather's elbow. Is it a lamp? A candle?
I assume that's French.
I want somebody to tell me what that is.
Spurs? If it's French, it translates to spurs.
Spurs?
I know that doesn't sound right. It looks like a candle holder or something.
All right, what is going on in this photo? I wish I knew to snap this very candid photo of my family eating dinner in the kitchen. When I lived in this very same house in the summer of 1985, I remember all the dinners I enjoyed at that table. It had not moved in the room. I'm not sure what my cousin is standing on. It looks a little dangerous for a little fellow, but he obviously survived the day unscathed. Out of the many photos in my collection, this humble shot gets right to the heart of Father's family. That is cute. I don't know what the kid's doing, but it looks like he might be doing a pee.
Oh, thanks.
So those
maybe not.
Those are the photos of the week, and lots. That's crazy cool. I still can't believe that is 1983. When I was thinking,
I can't either. Because that looks like my childhood game night. It looks like game night.
Yeah, it does. It does. I think that this should be the photo of the week. Oh, maybe this one.
It's hard to pick photo of the week. They're all
Remember the old
fantastic.
cameras where you had to look down into them? It looks
Well, I
like he's
don't
also like he could be
personally.
taking a picture. Maybe he was taking a picture of the family.
Maybe.
Cute
Maybe he
little
was
fella.
trying to get in so he could get some food. He might be crying.
Yeah.
Give me my food.
So those are the photos of the week. Do you know anything about the challenge for this week, Miss Julie?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Let's see if we can figure out what's going on. Let's see. We'll go here. We'll go to WikiTree front page, the challenge.
Down,
There we go. Nope. Let's try.
Well, I know that the challenge channels, the challenge server channels, moved to our main WikiTree Discord server this week, just yesterday, as a matter of fact. So we're all in the same place now. We don't have to have two separate servers.
Nice. Nice. So this week, and I probably could find it faster on the Facebook. Whoops. Let's go to WikiTree to the top. Woo!
Our guest this week is Maureen Taylor, and she is oh gosh, I'm going to forget her official name. She's a forensic genealogist that works on photographs.
Photographs, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Alan.
I will have to find her official.
There we go.
I'm terrible.
So last week was Claire Brisson Banks and
the photo detective.
The photo detective, Maureen Taylor.
Yes.
I always love talking to Maureen when we go to conferences and stuff.
Yeah, I thought you'd probably met her. She seems like a really neat lady.
Mm-hmm.
I did see her on the live cast on Wednesday.
Yeah. So if you want to check that out Wednesday night, check for the YouTube channel or the Facebook, the WikiTree Facebook, WikiTree members group, or the WikiTree group page. Oh yeah, and Janine, tell me the obvious, okay? She says, "Why don't you just go to the G2G post? I think it's pinned." There we go. Janine, you should come and help me. Come and help me on Saturday. Oh, look, let's upvote this. So yeah, week 45 and Maureen Taylor. Yeah.
The stuff that she does fascinates me. If I were starting over, I would probably move in that direction, but I'm too old now.
Too old to start? You're never too
I
old.
I know, that's true.
Let me ask you a question. So, my heritage has all the tools now for doing photo work. Do you like some of the stuff they're coming out with, like the animated ancestor photo? It creeps me out. Sorry. It's interesting, but
I think it's a fun gimmick. I'm not sure I would use it myself, but yeah, it is a little creepy.
I saw one yesterday for somebody that I know, and I'm like, ugh.
I know. Yeah, I don't like.
They didn't move that way.
Right. My dad passed away just in recent years, and I would feel a little uncomfortable seeing his picture animated like that. So same for my mom.
I also, the colorized ones, it's gotten so much better. Remember when they first started colorizing movies and you could see the gray bleed all over?
Yeah.
It's gotten so much better. So I'm not annoyed as much, but we don't know what the color of the grass was or the color of the sky was. I mean, we could guess the sky, but it's not a true representation. And if a black and white photograph is a photograph of what it was, if we try and make it something else, it's just strange to me to have that.
I just look at that as an artistic interpretation of.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't mind colorized stuff. I think sometimes it adds to it. And I thought I had read somewhere that they can kind of determine a good guess on what the colors were based on the gradations.
And the dates.
Somebody can correct me on that. I may be wrong.
Place. They can check where the angle of the sun was. But Maureen
Doing
Taylor
a
does
Doppler redshift,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maureen Taylor does a lot of really deep work on scratches, and like the one photograph where the guy's head was moving, but the rest of the photograph had some blemishes and things. She can take a photograph like that and make it look pristine.
Right.
I don't think
yeah.
she could fix the guy's head.
Probably not. That
Probably
would take
not,
a different technology.
Let's see. Chris says, "Oh, so creepy."
Yeah, they make me a little uncomfortable, but it's kind of like watching a train wreck.
I think that if I were to put my grandfather, my TC, my grandfather up, it would scare me if I saw him moving.
Would you have
it would just scare
nightmares?
me.
It's like seeing a ghost.
So next Friday is not date night because we had date night yesterday, but next Friday is
Feature Friday.
Yay! Do we know what we're featuring yet?
We are featuring Rob Pavey and his 2 Chrome extensions, Sorcerer.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, I've begun to love it because I've started using it.
Yeah,
and I really like it.
Changed the way they did stuff, and you really have to work hard to get a good citation. And I use it on Ancestry all the time.
I have started to also, and it builds a beautiful citation for you. And then he also is the same developer who wrote the AGC, the automatic JEDCOM cleaner. So I use that all the time too. Love it. So yeah, we're going to talk to Rob on Friday, and maybe he can share some tips and tricks for us, and maybe give us some insight on other things that he's working on.
Well, I really appreciate you jumping in this morning in place of Sarah.
Problem.
No problem. And Joey and Casey.
Yeah, I think they went to sleep. I think they're both being quiet now.
Do you have earbuds in, or are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have to worry. I could yell their names and they wouldn't.
Yes, you can bark. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I used to do that long ago when Julie would do the speaker.
Long ago.
Bark and her dogs would just go crazy. So thank you so much. And that's the live cast for this Saturday. And we'll see you next Saturday, same place. I'll be here, and maybe Julie will be here. I would love for Julie to be here next week.
I'll check my schedule.
Your schedule. If you're supposed to be walking the dogs, ask your neighbor she walks with her neighbor. So see if you can put it off for an hour to come back. And Florian says, yes, absolutely, Julie, come back.
I'm not sure that's what Florian was talking about, but sure.
See, absolutely. Betsy, where were your pictures?
You are welcome, Betsy.
Betsy usually has great pictures up. I didn't see any of your pictures, and maybe I missed them, and I'm sorry I did. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Have a good weekend.